with all the expansion and whatnot going on in college football, can't we get some new rivalries? Like, can't we get cross-conference rivalries? And I've been a big believer in this for a little while. However, I'm not sure it's going to happen the way that the viewer was suggesting. The viewer was suggesting something like the SEC and the Big Ten partner up, because they are on so many other fronts anyway, but partner up in a scheduling model that is a lot like the SEC Big Ten Challenge in college basketball. And that's worked for a long time there. We've already got out-of-conference matchups every year. Like this year, Miami goes to Florida, Georgia versus Clemson, LSU versus Southern Cal. That's just in week 1. Week 2, Texas goes to Michigan. Week 3, Bama goes to Wisconsin. So, yeah, we've got some big out-of-conference games, but you were talking about an across-the-board, line them up, and draw the lines, and everyone plays someone. Well, I'm not sure that's the way it would work, and I'm not sure an official mandate is even necessary. You got conference imbalance. Some folks have more teams than others. There's fluctuation. Conference realignment's not done. For some reason, this sport still thinks they need to schedule games several years out. And so if they stick to that modus operandi, that's one of several reasons that it may not be smartest to go about it that way. But here's the good news. This could happen organically. You could get all your new fancy rivalries and cross-conference games organically if the committee does the right thing. So teams need the strength of schedule. You need the strength of schedule not only because it bolsters your resume if the committee does the right thing and understands how to interpret strength of schedule, but number 2, you've got to sell tickets, and there is no going back. Okay, in many cases now, we got big 70, 80, 90, 100,000 seat stadiums where they don't sell out every week because they put garbage product on the field. The schedule's just not good enough. So the schedule's got to be bolstered. They know that. Okay, the powers that be know that. So they've got to get better inventory on the shelf so that the paying fan feels like they get their money's worth. There should be less fear in doing it too. Firstly, you've got an expanded playoff, so you don't have to go undefeated to make the playoffs, so you can afford to beef up your schedule a little bit. But here's where the committee comes in. Talked about it earlier in the show. I will continue to talk about it all year. It's one of the biggest themes in this year in college football. How does that committee make their decisions at the end of the day? Because if I'm at Pate State and I'm listening to the fans and media and everyone say, I need to schedule tougher, and I say, okay, point taken, and I go take off a G5 team and an FCS team, and I put Michigan and I put Southern Cal on my schedule, and I go 1-1 against them. And that adds on to 2 more losses I just had somewhere along the way, and I end up a 9-3 team when I easily could have been 11-1. The only crime I had was I beefed up my schedule, and you leave me out of that playoff for an 11-1 G5 caliber team, I'm not doing it anymore because I still have the same fear that we always had. The old school fear is, well, we can't afford to lose games because you get judged on your record, and schedule imbalance is so key in this sport right now that the committee has taught us, just go load up on cream puffs and you'll get judged on your record at the end of the day. Well, we can't have that moving forward, especially if you want better games. I think, fingers crossed, the committee will think the right way and do the right thing. It's putting a lot in the lap of the committee. But I think they'll do the right thing. And if they do, then television will be the winner, fans will be the winners, and I think that's the way it'll go. So I don't think you need a partnership. I think the bigger out-of-conference games will happen organically because of that.